Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Ambassador's Lounge. We are again here with a new episode, and today we'll be talking about Brics, the new alliance, the new forum which almost everybody is aware of. Brics, which comprises of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa was the last member which joined in 2010. They started in early 2000s. We'll be discussing about Brics, and especially with regard to China and India, who are the members of this forum, as they are our immediate members, and they are neighbors also, for that matter. And they're always, we are talking about certain issues which are going on in between these two countries. To discuss this, we have with us is Ambassador Amjad Ali Sher and Ambassador Asif Ali Durrani. I'll start the first question with Amjad. Brics is a grouping of developing emerging economies with the primary objective of promoting economic growth, development and cooperation among the member states, referring the international financial and political system, and is also on the agenda to reflect the interest of the member states. I would like to have your take on it.
Thank you, Ambassador Tanveer. No doubt that Brics is now a new emerging world order coming up with that, our new world order. And it is in fact a grouping of countries that they are not happy with the current global world order, obviously, which is occupied and controlled by the West and the North American countries. And and it is mostly Brics. In the Brics member country, there are two emerging countries, rather three. One is China, the other is Russia, and the third is India. And obviously, these three countries have also got grievances against the Western world. And if I'm not wrong, I must say that it is in fact an anti-Western, with an anti-Western agenda to see the economies of the world that they are free from the current IMF World Bank clutches. And that's why they have come up with many new initiatives like new development bank, and they have also got some exchange center. They have also come with commodity exchange. They are also coming up with the dollarization, de-dollarization, and to promote. And they have now come up with the new currency notes. Although they have not yet named the new currency note, but it was President Putin who came up with this idea that there be a single currency, Brics currency. And now that denomination of the currency vis-a-vis the dollar has yet to be determined, but it is definitely on their agenda. So I must say that Brics is a hope for the developing countries to come out of the control of the Western to come out of the control of the Western, economies.
I think I'll put the same question to Asif. So, what is your view about it?
Tanveer, thank you so much. I'll slightly take a different view. Here, I think Russia and China, for obvious reasons, they have their competition with the United States, even if they don't say in so many words that they are in competition with the United States, or vice versa. But there is a tiff going on. And then they are raising the voice, and I think they are emerging as the voice of the global South. But here India is running with the hare and hunting with the hound. And here India is trying to take benefit from the West as well as from these countries.
Both these.
Now, when we talk about the currency swap and then their system, which they talk about the Brics, pay and DCM, decentralized currency management systems, India is a beneficiary. How? India owes a lot to the Russians. So it is easy for them to pay them in Indian rupees, not the dollars. So they
already existing arrangement.
And with the Ukrainian war, they have enjoyed a lot of, they have got Russian oil. They are getting Russian oil on concession rates. They are refining it and selling it to the West. So again, they are in a win-win situation. So here, if you look at the communique of the Brics, so it is quite obvious that when it comes to Ukraine, of course, it was a conciliatory statement. They issued a conciliatory statement where no one condemned Russia or something. And they talked about talks and all that. On Palestine, they wanted to condemn Israel in a way that they have done excesses against the Palestinians and all that. So much, so far, so good. But when it comes to other issues like Western sanctions and all that, it's half-hearted in a sense that here I am sure the Indians would have been intervening in the joint communique. Indians' intervention you can also see in the financial systems when they talk about it. And then their opposition to Pakistan's inclusion was so obvious that Indians do not want Pakistan to be part of
this system.
So if this, the idea is to challenge the Western system or financial systems, whether it is IMF or it is about the currencies and all that. So here, Pakistan is a global South country, member of the global South. Why don't they want to include Pakistan into that? So, and then if it is only Mr. Modi's, only whim and wishes that they have to fulfill. But yes, there is a pattern in that. They are part of the Western alliance. They are in full cahoots with the Israelis. Their people are fighting and they have joined the Israeli army. They're part of it. But of course, since they are the founding members, they are founding members when it was not a Hindutva country. But now with the Hindutva country, they have declared themselves and then they are acting from all practical purposes. This is unfortunately, this is actually, you can say that it is harming the interests of the Brics. I can go on, but I think as the debate goes on.
Thank you, Asif and Amjad. Now, this brings me to my second question, basically on the discussion. Brics consists of member states having bilateral issues, like China and India are very prominent, as we all know. The two countries were on the verge of war in 2020, almost on the borders, where the troops of both the countries, almost came across almost to war. But how do you see the bilateral issues between the two member states affect the Brics as a big organization? It's since we have talked, they're looking for a totally new system, opposing the Western system. But keeping this bilateral issue between the two countries.
Well, these bilateral issues between India and China were there before the Brics. And both countries have fought two wars almost now in 2020. As you have mentioned that in Galwan Valley, the two countries' army was eye to each other. And now in this 16th summit in Kazan in Russia, President Putin facilitated the meeting of the two leaders, head of states, that is the Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping of China on the sidelines of the summit. And that provided the two countries to meet and also discussed obviously bilateral issues, including the engagement, their engagement on the borders. So they have basically focused more on diplomatic solutions of the problem, and they have agreed to disengage and the military disengagement in the Galwan Valley and other issues. But definitely this will linger on, because this is not an issue that can be resolved in 1 or 2 meetings. Obviously it's an old issue. So, but for the time being, this meeting provided them, Brics provided them an opportunity for the two leaders to at least discuss their bilateral issues.
I think I'll put the same question to us.
Well, I think, Tanvir, the silver lining here is the condemnation of the emerging international financial system, which in fact Global South now feels is exploitative. So there's a need to address that issue. And that's, I think, I can say is the biggest achievement of
during this
the Brics.
Summit.
And in that, I think that credit goes to China, Russia, and South Africa. They are doing that bit. But at the same time, there are certain challenges which we need to look at it. And those are, in fact, disputes which are, in fact,
between the member states
and all that. For instance, Amjad had mentioned about the new members. They are Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and United Arab Emirates. What we see in the declaration, Kazan declaration, is that although I think Iran prevailed as far as on the Palestinian issue is concerned, and it was condemnatory to Israeli excesses against Lebanon, against the Palestinian
people.
Still, it could not go beyond that. And here, since the decisions are taken by consensus, so it looks, when you look at the declaration, that Indians prevailed. Okay. And that we have to take note of. And if that is the case, then I don't think that if that policy continues, and if it has to, as far as membership is concerned, and those are to be decided at whims and as per the bilateral relationship, then it would be would not take Brics
to
another level. And similarly, fine, we can talk about new entrants. But the new entrants, if you look at it, they are just Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and United Arab Emirates. And if you look at them, their relationship with India are ideal.
So they had no objections to those.
So here, I think Indians are asserting themselves. But yes, silver lining was that there was a meeting between Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping. That was there. But on that, I think India gave the concession on Galwan Valley. They have conceded the territory, which now China is occupying.
Probably they're asking for a joint patrolling kind of a system.
They are, but an effective control lies with the Chinese. And there's a criticism
they're holding the ground.
There's a criticism going on inside India that you have actually given up the territory and all that. That's a different debate when we talk about that what happened actually and how. And then it is also, you can say, an aftermath of the Article 370 and 35A. And when Indian Home Minister Amit Shah issued a new map of India, and in which it showed Aksai Chin and other regions as part of India. And that's how it, in fact, infuriated the Chinese, and they had to take that action. And it should be an eye-opener, and it should be an eye-opener not from that point of view that it was a Xi Jinping and Chinese meeting, and I agree with that, and I think we should take a leaf from that, the Chinese and Indian meeting, that they have, agreed to a modus vivendi whereby they would continue their relationship, and that should also serve as a guiding principle for Pakistan and India to continue the relationship. But at the same time, the issues are so serious when it comes to Pakistan and India that we have to be careful that how it goes about it. And same if you want to apply that on the Brics. If India continues to oppose Pakistan for that matter, then I think it would not help the situation, and it would not help Indian scheme of things, because you cannot ignore Pakistan. It's a 1,000-pound gorilla in the room, so you just cannot ignore Pakistan.
You're right, Asif. I think this is the time, because if one member states, try to put on their weight, I will, stop here and we take SAARC for that example.
Correct.
Unfortunately, SAARC is an organization which was going all right, and suddenly because of one country's decision that they'll not take part, and the charter also unfortunately has that the no contentious issues will be discussed in the bilateral. If it can be, certain things can be discussed on the sidelines or whatever in Brics, why not in SAARC? Because we have also gone through all this thing, which are supposed to be, looked into. And unfortunately, SAARC, since the time the summit did not take place way back in 2016 onwards, and, and nothing has happened on that. It is only because a country which thinks they are big in size and economy and everything, they can play with that. And this is the kind of a thing, I think there's a time now we need to, work with the existing Brics member and also with the new members, that, they can't, push another applicant who wants to join or aspirant to join the new organization. So I think we need to make a comparison because there are so many organizations which are existing in the system right now in the world. So we have to be very open about it and very active about it. Especially, I would say, our foreign office and our think tanks, they should look at that also. That we should not just give up because if XYZ country, puts their foot down and you can't do anything, I think that will not really work.
Tanvir, I'll have a small intervention on that. You have rightly raised this question. But SAARC was Bangladesh's initiative. India has sabotaged that. It was going well. It was going all right. Here now, India is trying to apply that tactics in Brics.
In the new organizations.
In the new setup. If that's the case, I think India is shooting in its own feet. So this is what just I wanted to highlight. We can discuss it further if the time allows, but I think Amjad can answer that.
You have any comments on that?
Well, I agree with Ambassador Asif Durrani that India has been playing this kind of role with we are happy that we are member of the SCO, and that the situation was such that both India and Pakistan were becoming members at the same time. If India was a member before, then it would not have been possible for us to be member of the SCO.
SCO.
And
SCO.
SCO.
You are giving the impression of ECO.
No, SCO.
SCO, yes.
So we were lucky that we became member of the SCO, because both Russia on one hand were supporting India and China was supporting Pakistan. And that was a lucky point for us. Anyway, the relationship, the bilateral relation will continue. You know the tension between the two countries, whether that is in between China and Russia, between China and India, or any other country. They will continue, and this has to be taken by, has to be discussed both bilaterally as well as internationally.
Yeah, you're right, Amjad, because unfortunately,
but such forums does provide an opportunity.
Yeah, it is there. But unfortunately,
the
somehow
leaders
the other
of the two countries
in South Asia, especially in case of India, Pakistan, those dynamics which India and China has in terms of economy and all those things, really they're not compatible, or certain things don't work because there are so many other factors which are really a kind of a hurdle between our two relations. The kind of the government which is running the show there, and the kind of hatred they have generated in that country. Though if you see in the social media or the IT and all those things, the young generation has a different view altogether. But anyway, coming back to Brics again, I think we should, during this last Kazan summit which happened, de-dollarization was also on the agenda of Brics. How it's going to be achievable, if you have any?
Well, you know that since the Second World War, dollar remains the dominant currency all over the world. International trading, all oil trading, all international reserve currency is all dollar. It's not easy to replace dollar so quickly or so easily, but definitely the Brics countries that represent the global south, and they have been suffering at the hands of dollars because they have always been going to the IMF for the credits in dollars, not in their own currency. But this was the idea which was put forward by President Putin in the last summit, 16th summit, and obviously it was against the backdrop that there were Western sanctions against Russia because of the Ukraine invasion, Russian invasion of the Ukraine. But it is not going to take so short a time. It will take a long time because all the member countries have to agree on it. They may come to a point where they can have currency swap arrangement for the trading or commodity
between the member countries,
within the member countries, but it will take them a long time. But definitely it is on their agenda that de-dollarization are reduced. The fact is that reduce the role of dollar and increase the role of their local currency.
So there's a possibility for
that's but that's the important aspect of this Brics declaration, in which they want to have a parallel SWIFT system, whereby the banking system, they have the international correspondence, and which will have the speed of 20,000 transactions per second among the member states. So it is definitely a threat, or you can say a parallel system
to the existing
SWIFT system, and also currency swap is part of it. So here I think it is a signal to the Western financial systems that the kind of sanctions you have imposed on the member states, and when you impose a sanction, for instance, Afghanistan, now there are those are indirect sanctions, but the SWIFT system is not working in Afghanistan. So they cannot do international correspondence as far as banking is concerned. So they are, condemned to be a least developed country. They are condemned to be the country which is dependent on international doles, international humanitarian assistance. So here you have to introduce the system whereby the member states can, and already I think a small microcosm of that system is working in Afghanistan, whereby the immediate neighbors are actually in fact, involved in currency swap and barter trade. And this is, in fact, an answer to the international financial system, whereby they had all control of the financial institutions they're working and how they disperse their loans, or for that matter, how they disperse the transactions between the member states. So this is very important. And here I think BRICS should be lauded for its efforts to challenge
the existing
the
system.
existing financial system and telling them that this is not going to work, while at the same time they are also appreciative of the role of the G20 as far as their declaration is concerned, Kazan declaration is concerned. They are very much there. They also subscribe to the IMF system. They are working because it helps the member states, because when they are about to collapse or they are facing financial problems, IMF comes and it helps them. They are supportive of that, and I think that needs to be appreciated. So here, in my view, the BRICS declaration is actually, you can say, is a mature declaration, and it is telling the developed world, i.e. the United States and the West, that we are a pragmatic partner and we don't want to have unnecessary tensions with you. But at the same time, you just cannot starve us off through these sanctions, or for that matter, other financial systems which actually make us paralyzed and we cannot do the normal business.
Yes, Asif, you're right. If we remember, as a country, Pakistan, we went through this FATF thing because certain, rules, regulations and everything was, placed on us. We have to understand that, and if BRICS brings up another alternate system, at least there's something which the World Bank or the IMF, also accepts that basically as a system. So you have an alternate available, because it's kind of a thing, what you say, that you take it or leave it. So you can't really force countries to, follow each and every rules and regulation. There are certain norms in the country. If you follow a UN system, once you like it, it's okay. If you don't like it, you don't do that. Classic example, what Israel is doing with UN right now. So financial systems are also, I think, are equivalent to that. You have sealed 9 million plus amount of Afghanistan because the government...
$9 billion, $9.6 billion.
$9.6 billion of Afghanistan because you don't like the government.
And more than that, their banks cannot do normal business.
This is what I mean to say, that, it's your liking or choice, and
Yes.
this is not how the world works.
No.
So naturally, if you have a system, then somebody will come with an alternate. So I think we need to understand and be ready to accept the new challenges. Otherwise, either you go for jungle law or might is right kind of a thing. That's how you want to think. I think I'll just be coming to my few last questions. If you remember, we talked about during this Kazan thing, there were new member countries who were aspirants or were in line to join the BRICS. So, for example, Pakistan, Turkey, and some other also aspirants. How do you see, what are our prospects, Asif?
I think I said it in my initial remarks. Pakistan's membership was opposed. We applied last year actually, and India opposed it. And we understand. That's there. But I think Turkey is also facing some problems. I'm not sure that India has outrightly opposed it.
Or any other country for that matter?
Other countries, I don't know. But these two countries, and Turkey, if at all, if India has reservations, that would be because of Pakistan. So, because I have seen the news reports in which
both
they
are
said
paired together.
The primary reason is because they are friendly to Pakistan. So if that's the case, I think...
There are 8 countries now in line to join the Brics. One is
Applicants for that.
applicants, obviously. Those countries are Pakistan, Pakistan, Turkey, Malaysia, Thailand, Venezuela, Cuba, Nigeria, and Kenya. Obviously, now India, because of American pressure, maybe there is some opposition to Venezuela. Maybe because of some opposition from the Western world to Nigeria. So, but there are applicants, let's see, because as I mentioned that Brics is the representative of the global south, and I must give credit to President Putin that he has successfully advanced the creation of an anti-Western coalition, and most of these countries have suffered. Venezuela is one of the countries, and Nigeria is also amongst those countries. Pakistan obviously has got sanctions, and
Always been there.
Always been there. So let's see how successful they are, but because of China, which is our stronger support for membership in the Brics, like the SCO, we hope that we will one day join the Shanghai and its Brics, and we are waiting for that moment.
If I may add,
Yes,
Tanveen, to
please.
that, Russian Deputy Prime Minister Alexei Orshuk was here in September last month. And he, in fact, openly supported Pakistan's candidature for the Brics.
Okay.
And so you can't say that in Brics we didn't have the supporters. Actually, we had the supporters. We had the support from China, we had the support from Russia, and also South Africa. Because with South Africa we have ideal relationship. We are, in fact, party to South Africa's application in ICJ against Israel. India is not. So here, I think out of 4 members, 3 members are in favor of Pakistan. So that, and in my view, I think I would be the devil's advocate in this case, and I would say that India, in fact, should realize, because right now their attitude is not so friendly, because if they have any tiff with Pakistan, fine, but they should not do the Western bidding as far as Brics is concerned, because India is still a developing country. And if they think that by aligning with the United States or by aligning with Israel, they will perhaps join the high table, they are mistaken. We committed this mistake long ago, and to our horror we have realized that this would not work. Mr. Modi is perhaps trying to join their ranks, but I can assure you,
Trying to play on both.
I can assure you that it's not going to work. It has not worked in the past. I don't think that it will work in the future.
Thank you, Asif.
And even for that reason, Brazil would also not oppose our membership to.
Yes, sorry, I missed Brazil. Brazil, we had quite a support from Brazil also. Okay. Brazilian ambassador told me himself. Yes.
Thank you, Amjad. Thank you, Asif. Ladies and gentlemen, आपने हमारा प्रोग्राम सुना. ब्रिक्स, इंडिया चाइना रिलेशंस, जो भी उनके डिस्प्यूट्स हैं वो भी, और बाकी सारे इश्यूज़ पर हमने डिस्कस किया. व्हाट वी नीड टू डू इज़ राइट नाउ इज़ टू, जिसने हमने डिस्कशन के दौरान ब्रिक्स का और सार्क का जिक्र बीच में आ गया था. वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट कुछ डिफ़िकल्ट नेबर्स के साथ रहना मुश्किल होता है, बट वी नीड टू वर्क हार्ड ऑन इट. और अपने जो बाकी नेबर्स हैं उनके साथ जो हमारे ताल्लुकात हैं उनको भी देखना होगा. एंड आर कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट्स, स्पेशली द फॉरेन ऑफिस, आर थिंक टैंक्स, और जो भी और कंसर्न लोग हैं, दे शुड वर्क हार्ड ऑन इट. और जो टर्म यूज़ की जाती है बाय आवर नेबर्स के जो हमने आइसोलेट कर दिया, और यही बात अभी ब्रिक्स में बात हुई थी कि रशिया को आइसोलेट कर दिया, बट एवरीबडी सॉ व्हाट हैपेंड इन ब्रिक्स राइट नाउ इन कजान. सो आई थिंक वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट, और वी शुड नॉट लूज़ होप. पाकिस्तान को कई दफ़ा लोग साइड लाइन करने का सोचते हैं, कहते हैं, but I think we, the present generation and our future generation, they should have our hopes high, और इंशाल्लाह वक्त के साथ बेहतरी होगी. Thank you so much for watching our program. Please subscribe to our program and do comment on it. Thank you.